All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about object writing. And what is object writing? Object writing is a lyric exercise that you can do every single day to improve your songwriting. And I also actually think it has a benefit of improving your depth of human experience. That sounds very extreme, but I really actually think I'm having a higher quality of experience in my human life, more sensational experience since I started object writing regularly. So let's get into what it is. So what is object writing? It's a 10-minute exercise that you ideally do as early in the morning as you can. And you take a random object. There's a ton of random object generators online. If you don't have access to internet, if you're just doing this like on a hike or something, just look around and choose a random object. And then what you do is you use that object to explore ideas and memories and just thoughts in general about that come to you from that object. And you start writing and the goal is, and you don't have to write full grammatically correct sentences, you just write. And so you can write run-ons, you can write half sentences, you can write in any form you want, and you're trying to engage all seven senses. So the obvious ones are taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight, right? So those are the obvious ones. But you're also trying to get this one called organic, which is what is happening inside your body at a given time. So like what's happening. So right now I can feel my nose is totally plugged up because I'm getting over a cold. That's like organic. Something is happening in my body. I can feel my diaphragm increase as I take a large breath. I can feel my heart beating rapidly. My heart's not really beating rapidly right now, but if I went for a run, I could feel my heart beating rapidly. So that's organic. And then there's motion sense or kinesthetic sense, which is your knowledge of the way the world is moving and how you're moving in relation to it, right? So the example he gives in the book, which I think is a really good example, is if you're standing next to a train and it starts moving, the train starts moving, your kinesthetic sense goes crazy. And how describing that train moving compared to you standing still would be capturing a little bit of that kinesthetic or motion sense. So you want to capture all those, and the idea is because when you write and you capture all these senses, it brings your words a lot more to life, right? Than if you just focus on sight. If you just talk about what you see or just talk about what you smell. If you do a lot of these, it makes the reader feel like they're actually there, or in the listener feel like they're actually there. So now that you know what it is, I want to talk about the benefits, right? So obviously, first benefit improves your songwriting, and the goal is you're supposed to stop right at the 10-minute mark. So even if you don't finish your sentence or whatever, just stop. And the idea is that if you practice this enough times, on command, you can you can jump into imagery and cool description of what your senses are receiving very rapidly. And so when you're writing songs, you kind of on command have this ability to write well. And so he says do 10 minutes every day. And the reason also why he asks for early in the morning is because he talks about this idea of every one of us has an inner writer. And if you wake up your inner writer earlier in the morning, then that throughout the day, that writer is noticing imagery and senses, noticing just cool little lyrics and cool little descriptions of things that if you do it at night, you don't get the benefit of your woken up writer seeing everything. So that's another reason. I actually do agree with that. So the benefits, right? I got a little sidetracked. So the benefits are, one, definitely helps your songwriting. I think I still have a long way to go. I'm a strong beginner musician, but I have a long way to go. But I have found that my lyric writing is getting stronger because of this exercise. And then two is the second benefit is actually not related to songwriting, but my human experience is actually leveled up from this exercise, because when I'm walking around the world, if I've been object writing for many days in a row, I see the world like I'm more in tune with my senses, right? Because I might walk around and smell. Right now I can't smell anything because I'm clogged up, but I'm in a very woodsy area right now. I might smell and say, oh, it smells like pine tree, and that thought might go through my mind versus, oh, that just smells nice. Or I remember the other day I was hanging out with some friends and they gave me, I believe it's called jicama, I think it's a root vegetable. And I took a bite of jicama and I paused for a second and I said, "Oh, it tastes like a pear without sugar." And that was really cool observation for me because I wouldn't have had that if I wasn't object writing regularly. And so it almost feels like you're just more in tune with your senses. So as you're walking around as a human on this earth, you're experiencing more, right? Because you're seeing everything you see, taste, touch. You're just a little bit more in tune and aware of it, and you don't even have to describe it every time. But you're just by drawing attention to all of your senses in this exercise, you kind of have more attention in general on your senses when you're just moving around. So those are the benefits. I've been doing it pretty frequently. I've been actually starting a blog series where I share my object writing in public. I'll drop a link down below, but check those out if you're interested. I'm hoping they get better over time. I've done, I think, 13 or 14 to date. And I've done way more than that, but 14 that I've actually posted online. But I'm getting more bold at just posting them. Before I was like only picking my best ones. But yeah, so that's object writing. I hope you find it useful, and I really recommend it if you're into songwriting. And let me know, do you have a lyric writing exercise that you do that I can look up, because I'm trying to get better at songwriting. I've gotten serious into music later in my life, mid-20s. I think like a lot of people get into music really a lot when they're super young. But I'm having so much fun, and I'm just trying to add volume, and songwriting specifically is where I'm trying to get a lot better. So let me know. If you enjoyed this content, do give me a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.
Let me out cause I'm feeling still crazy. I've been in and out of good moods lately. More and more I run, the more the shit chase me. Holds me down like some ankle weights that I can't see. Can't see. Said it holds me down like some ankle weights that I